more, let's bring in Alexandra Filippenko. She's a political analyst and joins me now from Vilnius. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's begin with your first reactions to this attack and what we know so far.
First of all, of course, it was a shock. On the one hand, it's a shock. And on the other hand, with the current political climate, with the polarization in the American society, it seems that such a tragedy could have unfolded and it could have been anticipated at some point. Because we've been seeing how the right wing and left wing are drifting apart a little by little. And only now we hear from different politicians that there is a need to come together. And one of the first of the politicians who started talking about the need to unite is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose father and uncle were assassinated. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the son of Robert F. Kennedy and, of course, of JFK, of John Kennedy, the president of the United States, and the senator, the son of the senator. So he is recalling the assassination of his father and his uncle. And he is asking everyone to come together because he is trying to get Republicans and Democrats on one stage. He called on Trump and Biden to stand on one stage and talk to the American people like it's been before during the crisis times. But we will see what the Republican Party will decide to do, because the Republican convention will begin on Monday, just as planned. The chairman and the co-chairman of the Republican National Committee said that President Trump looks forward to joining everyone in Milwaukee, and they will open the convention to nominate him as the 47th president of the United States. There, at the party convention, we will see all the most important faces of the Republican Party, and we will get their reactions. And while the Republican convention is on the way, Biden's team halts all presidential ad campaigns in the wake of the incident. All television and digital ads across the country are being taken down indefinitely, and all voter communication, including the fundraising appeals, are being halted. It should be noted that for the rest of the month, for those upcoming 2 weeks, there were $50 million scheduled to spend on advertising. And we are hearing from Democrats and from Republicans voices saying that there is no place for violence in the American politics. And of course, as you mentioned, the reaction from the Kremlin, Putin in his own way is saying that this is a sad moment, and saying that the assassination attempt was provoked by the atmosphere created by the Biden administration, while President Zelensky said that in a video, said that this terrible crime can only be condemned. These are the voices that we are hearing from Russia and Ukraine.
And there are still many questions unanswered, including the motive of the would-be assassin, but also about the failure of the Secret Service. How was he able to get on the roof with a rifle to carry out this attack?
It seems that there has been miscommunication. Of course, there is much to be investigated, and still the place is a crime scene. The place is closed down, and people were rushed from the venue where Donald Trump held his rally, and where 2 people were injured and 1 person died and the shooter died. This whole place is closed down, and the people left in a hurry. They left a lot of their belongings there, their bags and phones and computers. They are all still there. It's a crime scene, and there's a lot to be investigated. But what now we understand that there's been miscommunication, because the shooter was staying at the place where local police was supposed to surveil, while the Secret Service was surveilling the inner circle, the inner, the exact venue where Donald Trump was holding his rally. And it seems that the police thought that that person on the roof was someone from the Secret Service, while the Secret Service thought that there was someone from police. So most probably it was a case of grave miscommunication. And of course, we will probably see people stepping down, or maybe even prosecuted, people in high posts in the police and in Secret Service after the investigation.
And it's obviously an event that's going to go down in history, but how is this immediately going to change or affect the presidential race? I mean, there's also the fact that it took place in Pennsylvania, which is a key battleground state.
And it happened right before the convention of the Republican Party. And it happened right at the event where President Trump, ex-President Trump, was supposed to at least hint who is going to be his running mate, who is going to be his vice president. And this all seems all too symbolic. This all seems all too unbelievable, like a scene from a Hollywood movie. But this is actually happening, and this definitely affects American politics. To me, it seems that it might affect gravely far right and far left. I don't think that it will actually affect those swing voters who do not really know yet whom they're going to vote for. Those who vote, those swing voters, those who are not sure whom they're going to vote for, they usually look at the programs of the candidates. They don't look at who the candidates are personally. They are mostly interested in their policies. So it seems that this grave incident might only really affect far right and far left in the means of polarization, further polarization of Democrats and Republicans. And now there is great duty of the president, who is now supposed to be not the running president, not the person who wants to stay in the White House, but rather be a president of all Americans and try to unite the people and try not to, or try to actually avoid things going from bad to worse. Because, of course, we've all been hearing some ideas that maybe there can begin an actual civil war, because there's this cold civil war, as they call it, is happening. And everyone is afraid that this might go to a hot civil war, an actual civil war. So, of course, the politicians are bearing responsibility to unite the people and calm them down.
All right, political analyst Alexandra Filippenko, that's all we have time for, but thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for your time and analysis.